This is a mock interview conducted by ForumIAS Academy at New Delhi. The interview panel includes eminent academicians, retired bureaucrats, and other luminaries. The objective of the program is to acquaint the candidate with the format and expectations of the personality test conducted by UPSC.
May I come in?
Yeah.
Thank you. Morning, sirs.
Good morning.
Thank you, sir.
Well, Mr. Abhimanyu Malik, you have done mechanical engineering,
Yes, sir.
then switched to political science,
Yes, sir.
and that too you completed in 5 years, master's degree.
Yes, sir.
So, and you are drawing quite a fat salary, one like 85,000, isn't it?
Yes.
Per month. So, it's a quite remunerative service, isn't it?
Indeed, sir.
What brings you here?
Sir, even before joining NABARD, I was preparing for civil services and had taken attempts at it. And sir, it was always one thing that I wanted to pursue. And more so after joining NABARD and in my field assignment, sir, I realized that it's worth trying again, because having worked with the civil servants at the field level, I found that the kind of diversity of work and the impact that they can have on the ground is unparalleled, sir.
But in NABARD, I mean, country needs industrial development, reconstruction of economy, and you are already there contributing, isn't it? That is one of the major areas. If it's really to serve the country, I think that is one of the major areas where you can really add and improve the lot of the people. We are having 90 crore people depending on dose. And your field in which you are working at present really makes a difference. Suppose you come in civil service, today you will be in education, tomorrow you will be in something else, third day it will be something else. But all this depends on economy. So, don't you think your work is more important than what civil service servants do?
Sir, I feel myself to be very privileged to have been and fortunate enough to have been associated with NABARD, working with NABARD, and doing the things that currently is at the field level. But at the same time, sir, I believe that the kind of experience that I've got, now I can utilize it in many other domains. So the scale of work, the diversity of work, that probably still propels me to join civil services.
Or is it sense of power that attracts you here?
Sir, not power aspect, but at least the kind of, I would say, the authority to change and bring in a lot of good things into work. I think that attracts me, sir.
Do you think always authority is needed for change?
Not always, sir, but...
Can it be a collaborative effort to get all people on board and then through consensus come up with changes?
Sir, it is the most suitable path to bring up changes. But at times, sir, in time crunch situations, some prompt decisions have to be made, and if they are authoritative in the sense that they have some backing of rules and laws to them, I think, sir, it becomes easy and pertinent. It becomes easier for us to implement the things that we want.
So it enables.
It enables, sir.
Okay, now you are a student of, we've taken political science as a subject. People say the democracy is the best or the worst form of government. Why people say that? It is the best of the worst form of government.
I do not agree with the statement that it is best of the worst form of government. Sir, democracy has its strength, which lies in that it basically has the consent of the people. It basically exudes the will of the people. Now, there are certain elements, sir, which maybe I can say are somewhat dysfunctional in every democracy. Like, sir, that there may be some people who are who believe in disorder more than order. There would be people always who would be I would say they don't want stability.
What are different forms of governments, to your knowledge?
Sir, different forms of government can be monarchy, can be oligarchy, aristocracy, can be democracy, can be a military junta rule.
So all of them are. Is there anyone better than that, than democracy?
No, sir. None of these.
So that is the best. You agree with the condition that it is the best form of government.
Indeed,
You don't
sir.
agree with the condition that it is of the worst.
No, sir. I only believe that it is among all the available forms of government. It is the best form of government that we have.
Have you heard of a book called Why Democracies Die?
Sir, I've heard about it, although I'm unable to recollect the exact things mentioned in that.
But in your mind, how democracies die? Can you, as a student of political science, can you really think of some elements why democracies die and how they can die? Because you see everywhere, say in China, Russia, Turkey, and so many places, through electoral politics, dictators are coming. Even Hitler, dictators are coming through that. And basically that was virtually death of democracy. So what must have happened there? Why democracies die? And are there some elements available in India also? Are we going in that direction, or we are better off?
Sir, there is a tendency in the democracy, like sir, I mentioned about the dysfunctional aspects, that sometimes people tend to prefer very strong leaders, and at the same point of time, sir, people are gullible for propagandas and all these things, because at the end of the day, we should remember that democracy is a numbers game. So people can be attuned, or people can be, the consent of the people can be manufactured to a particular direction, which may only suit the need of the leader. Now, although the people are supporting him, but that's a very flawed argument of democracy that they are supporting. They are supporting a person rather than, say, a group of people, or the idea, or taking the people ahead. So these kind of tendencies, when they develop, when a person, a cult, or a propaganda becomes more important than the ideas or the basic premise of a democracy, that is a welfare state. So when such things take preponderance over it, then sir, democracies, they do die.
Do you think dictatorship, the capitalism can really lead to welfare state?
Sir, an unabashed or unregulated capitalism can never lead to a welfare state, I believe. Although, sir, with certain guardrails and regulations, and certain, I would say, sir, certain facilitation role played by the government, and also certain redistributive policies of the government. So they can definitely ensure that capitalism, even in its present form, can lead to.
The last question, my last question relates to CAA.
Yes, sir.
Tell me 3 points in favor, 3 points against.
Sir, as far as the points in favor are concerned, now, sir, it has been a promise before the independence, when the unfortunate partition happened of our country, that people who want to come to India and they are not feeling safe on the other side.
But I'm not going in the history. The law as such has got some sections.
Yes, sir.
Tell me from that point of view, what are in favor and what are in against?
Sir, first, as far as the favor is concerned, then it provides for a fast-tracked citizenship to the persecuted people from 6 religions coming from Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Bangladesh. So basically, just to elevate their already.
So persecution, can you give a color to religious color to a persecution? Persecution is persecution.
Yes, sir.
How can you justify that? Is there any constitutional provision that really gets violated in this process?
Sir, this is one of the criticisms of the CAA, that it goes against the right to equality. However, sir, at the same time, I believe that right to equality is applicable to the people of the country.
No. Article 14 doesn't say people of the country.
Yes, sir.
It says anybody across the world.
Indeed, sir. Indeed, sir. But when we apply it, it has to be specifically applied to a group of people situated similarly, sir, because it also provides for equal protection of law. So it does provide for reasonable differentiation.
Then you are contradicting yourself. You are saying persecuted people and people placed similarly.
Yes, sir.
If somebody is basically persecuted, he is persecuted. He is put similarly to all people, irrespective of caste, creed, and religion.
Sir,
why there should be discrimination?
Sir, there is an intelligent differentiation in this.
Abhimanyu.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell me something. There is also a very famous character in Mahabharata.
Yes, sir.
With your name.
Yes,
right?
sir.
What do you learn from his life?
Sir, the most important lesson that I learned from the life of Abhimanyu is that one individual, if full of courage and fearlessness, can alone make a name for himself and can also change the course of history if one wants.
So, Abhimanyu, your optional is PSIR, right? Yes. Okay. So, recently our Honorable Foreign Minister, right, in a conference, he said that when it comes to India's relationship with the West, okay, so he said that we are not anti-West, we are non-West. What is meant by that statement?
Sir, anti-West basically means that India would oppose whatever stance West takes, or India is fundamentally opposed to all the orientation of West or whatever policies that they want to formulate or their stand in the international affairs. Now, India does not consider it as anti-West. What we say that we have an independent path towards many issues, be it developmental issues, be it trade, be it climate change. So, and that is different from West. So that is non-Western, but that may or may not be anti-Western at the same time. So this is what I think of this statement.
Good, good. And you are a student of political science. What is meant by libertarianism?
Sir, libertarianism is a political ideology which basically supports the neoliberal policies of the state, basically rolling back of the state and minimal state, plus greater share of market in determining the kind of production and the trade aspects, etc.
So, what is happening in Argentina right now? Something related to this philosophy?
Yes, sir. Sir, basically the new government that has come to the power in Argentina, so they are supporter of the extreme version of libertarianism, also called as anarcho-capitalism. Now, sir, why I call it extreme? Because even in libertarianism, the basic features of state like protection and police powers, they remain with the state. But anarcho-capitalism talks about even subletting this responsibility of the state to, say, private security personnel and all. So it is that kind of a version of libertarianism that we see in anarcho-capitalism.
So being, let's say somebody, you are working in NABARD, you have an understanding of economic issues, okay? So in your understanding, what would be the 3 most important economic issues for the people of the state when it comes to the assembly elections?
Yes, sir. Sir, first, the most important issue I see is the high levels of unemployment that is prevalent. Now, that is somewhere around 10 to 30% according to different estimates.
10 to 30%?
Yes, sir. As far as
that is a very broad range that you are assigning.
Indeed, sir. Because the government estimates it at around 10 or 11%, but the CMIE estimates tend to portray it at around 28-30% also. So that is one.
Is it just for Haryana?
Sir, the numbers as far as CMIE is concerned is just for Haryana.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Next.
Second is the agrarian distress and the stagnation in agricultural income that we are seeing in Haryana, sir.
And third?
So third, I would say it's not exactly the economy, but then, sir, there are a lot of congestion issues. The infrastructure gaps still remain at many parts of the Haryana, and there's a lot of say issues of drainage or traffic and pollution coming up because of.
Okay. So you mentioned about unemployment. In your assessment, what is the prime reason for it in the state? Is it because of some shortfall in skill development of people, or is it over reliance on agriculture in parts of the state? What do you think is the reason?
Sir, there are multitude of factors that is contributing to this. Sir, first factor is the skill development lag. Now, the major job magnets of Haryana are situated primarily in the NCR region, primarily in Gurugram. Now, the kind of skill they demand, because they're an IT hub, so that is not available with many people in the state, and they are jobless in that regard. Second major reason is the influx of a lot of people that is coming in the state, sir, and even their numbers are getting added to the unemployment numbers of Haryana, because they are also jobless, many of them. Third, again, I would say there is a lot of the outflux is very less in Haryana, the out-migration culture. It is just picking up now. So that is also one factor, because not many people are going out for employment in or outside the country.
Okay. So let's say since you have done a lot of work on crop diversification, pesticide reduction. So if you have to identify two important areas for ensuring employment growth in the state, okay, so what would be those two areas?
Sir, I believe because Haryana still remains an agrarian state, so we need to develop a lot of agri startups. There is a lot of scope in agri startup things, especially with the emergence of FPOs. So we can collaborate. We can collaborate with the industry and make a lot of agri startups out of the FPOs itself. Second, I would go with sir, the female employment thing through the medium of JLGs and SHGs. Now there are a lot of products in the food processing domain, which and also the handlooms and art and craft and handicrafts. So there, I think, sir, the SHGs and JLGs of women can provide a lot of employment to our women in the rural areas, especially.
Okay, thank you.
Abhimanyu,
Yes,
you are
sir.
basically an employee of NABARD, right?
Yes, sir.
So NABARD comes under which ministry?
Sir, it comes under Ministry of Finance.
Ministry of Finance. So what is so Ministry of Finance completely funds NABARD?
No, sir. NABARD has many sources of funds. Mainly, sir, NABARD is getting funding from the market itself. And some of the funds are being allocated by either RBI or the Ministry of Finance through RBI.
Okay, so you procure from the market.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in Indian domestic markets or from the foreign markets?
Sir, from the Indian domestic markets.
Then it will be viable for you to further lend it.
Yes, sir. Because we get the loans at almost at par with the sovereign rate of interest. So that is one of the cheapest in the market, sir, that we are able to get.
So what is that rate?
Sir, it keeps on varying, but as far as the long-term rate is concerned, it is somewhere around 7.7 at the present.
7. And you give loan at what percent?
Sir, then also there are a lot of funds, lot of different funds with NABARD which are being allocated at different rates. Like, sir, the cheapest would be is just around say 15 to 20 basis point above the rate at which we are getting. And then it varies from say 15 basis points to say 120, 130 basis points.
So you are profit making?
Yes, sir. NABARD happens to have a profit of almost around 5,500 crore a year.
So you give dividend to government also?
Sir, actually, NABARD NABARD's funds are basically reappropriated as in the reserves and surpluses because of the government mandate itself, just to strengthen the position of NABARD in the market so that it can keep on borrowing cheaply.
So coming to this financing, you also provide subsidies. NABARD provides subsidies also.
Sir, NABARD had been the channelizing agencies for a few government subsidies. Currently, sir, we are providing subsidies in two domains: the Agri Clinic and Agri Business Center scheme, and also the Agriculture Marketing Infrastructure scheme, which basically provides subsidies to warehouses, silos, and cold stores.
So, what is your profile right now? What you are doing there?
Sir, I am posted as the cluster in charge of 4 districts. Currently, I am based in Rohtak. And sir, our basic role is to implement the various developmental projects that NABARD is undertaking, and also conceptualizing, recommending them for sanctions. And also, sir, acting as a kind of representative of NABARD in various district level committees. And again, sir, monitoring the infrastructure projects that have been financed by NABARD, and also monitoring the position of banks as far as the priority sector lending is concerned.
Okay, I will ask you one last question. That, see, there are lot of farmers, they don't want their kids to continue in the farming. Yes. So the land will be on their kids' name, their kids will be employed somewhere else. So in the long term, let's say 20 years, most of the farmers, their lands will be there, but there will be no farming. So in that context, do you support corporate farming or contractual farming, which were proposed by this government, but those laws were taken back? So this is the future. Do you think this is the future?
Sir, I believe that a well-regulated corporate farming mechanism needs to be developed in the country, because we need to basically have a lot of technology diffusion into our agriculture, which would come through corporate farming. And more importantly, the post-harvest aspects, like an assured buying and assured processing of it. So, and cutting the intermediary chain, which is actually eating into a lot of profits to our farmers. So I believe, sir, a well-regulated farming, corporate farming model is the need of the hour.
So Abhimanyu, there was an epic hero of your with the same name.
Yes, sir.
Mahabharata. Okay, so if I'll ask you a question, that what qualities do you have of Abhimanyu, then what would be your answer?
Sir, one quality that I believe I have to certain extent, sir, I would not say the extent to the epic hero, is courage and fearlessness, but to a limited extent, I would say.
Suppose you are met with the ethical dilemma similar to, Abhimanyu, like he was having a choice where he had to wage a war against his own uncles and grandfather. So if similar kind of ethical dilemma, obviously you are not going to wage war against them, but if similar kind of ethical dilemma comes to you where certain favoritism is being asked from you, then what will you do?
Sir, I would just treat it as a case that these people are unfamiliar to me. I would go by the rule book, whatever it suggests.
All right. So nowadays we are seeing that AI or artificial intelligence have a wider use in various fields. So if I'll ask you a question regarding this AI, and recently election dates were also announced. So tell me that how AI can accelerate production and dissemination of disinformation in the election.
Yes, sir. Sir, AI can lead to very negative consequences as far as the disinformation, deepfakes are concerned. Because even we see it in the case of Indonesia, where the leaders who were dead and their deepfakes were used to in the election campaigns. And so was in case of Pakistan, where deepfakes of Imran Khan was used through AI. So it can greatly lead to emergence of such things even in the Indian elections, if not properly regulated or guarded against.
Okay, my last question. You have done mechanical engineering, right?
Yes, sir.
You might have heard about entropy.
Yes, sir.
What is entropy?
Sir, in a simple sense, sir, it is the disorder that is prevalent in the environment. That is entropy, sir. And in every, say, spontaneous process, sir, it's always one state changes to a more disorderly state. And that disorder is, that randomness is called entropy, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
How many, you must have taken a lot of mocks. How many mocks you have taken already?
So I think 10, 11 mocks I've already taken.
Okay. So what is the feedback?
Sir, the feedback is generally like that I need to maybe structure my answers properly and being brief and precise.
Okay. Yes. To my understanding, others will also say what they have to say. You are a confident person. You are able to, you can convey whatever you want to convey. But on certain issues, I found you wavering, or probably lacking understanding. Like capitalism, I've talked about poor versus capitalism. By and large, I find that if you improve the way you really respond, and you are not going there as a representative of a particular system or government or whatever. You are going to be there for about 30 years. You are supposed to serve the people.
Yes.
So you have to have a very balanced brain. But I'm not saying you oppose the government moves. I'm saying wherever that comes, try to say in such a way that you are neither hurting this side nor that side.
Right, sir.
And that wisdom should come to you by thinking, deeper thinking and understanding. Okay?
Right.
So from my side, best of luck.